minutes of December 9th, 2014. Did you guys get a chance to take a look at them?
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
Second. I got a correction.
Yes.
Under attendance, Scott Turnbull, Mr. Bill. Mr.
Oh,
Turnbull.
you know, tomato, tomato. Called worse.
It's starting.
Second.
All right. With that exception noted, all those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Aye. Number 4, public input. Items not listed on the agenda. Do we have anyone that would like to present? Okay. Number 5, public hearing, special use application for vacation rentals for the following. 10820 Grandview Avenue. And we will open the public hearing at 6:44 p.m.
I wanted to bring to your attention 7110 Maple Street. That was an original in the group. Came in the day after our last planning commission and submitted an application. So I included him in the group, and I just want to make sure you guys are all okay with that.
What I'm proposing is that we do each one of these
Okay.
in case people are here for specific applications. Good. Mr. Hopper. And we've got the house rule. Mary, how many letters did you send out to neighboring around 10820 Grandview Avenue?
I don't know because I don't have the addresses, so I just did. I know that we didn't get a lot of responses
Wait.
back.
Do you know how many you sent out
I sent out total 16
16?
for all of them.
for Grandview Avenue?
No.
We only got one guy, right? Our property owner, Willie Alexander. Only one motivated enough to keep.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm fine. I sent out 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Grandview.
And one was returned, and that was in favor of granting the special use. Okay. Anyone in the audience care to comment? So we'll note that the petition conforms to the requirements of the zoning ordinances. The use conforms to the requirements of the zoning ordinances. The use is consistent with the goals and objectives of the master plan. Neighboring land uses are compatible with the contemplated use. The use will not result in an oversensitive use of land. The use will not result in undue traffic congestion or traffic hazards. And the use will not be unreasonably detrimental to public health, safety, and welfare. further comment, we'll close the public hearing at 6:48. Yeah, 2:20, yeah. So do I have a motion to approve the special use application?
I'll make the motion to approve the special use.
I'll second.
Recommended.
I'll second that. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, unanimous.
I have a question, Mr. Hull. So this, what is the, you have 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms,
It's 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms, and 2 baths?
Yes.
Perfect.
These are plenty of parking. All right, and we'll open the public hearing again at 6:49. And this is for 6821 Douglas Way.
Is it Douglas Way or is it Hill Street?
It's on the assessor side, it's listed as a hotel. But here it's listed as Douglas Way. But for me to be able to get the notices, I had to send it to all the neighbors on home. Crazy.
So how many did you send out?
For 6821, there were only 2.
Yeah, they're in the city hotel at the top.
That's right. So the two bath. Right.
Not two.
Yeah.
Two bath. Both in favor,
Yeah,
with notes.
Yeah.
Is Tara or Mike Strange here present?
No.
Sarah Ernest? Would anybody from the audience care to comment?
Yeah.
We did at 6:49.
If I can say something.
Yes, please.
What's your name, please?
David Brown, property manager for a number of properties in the New Roads, and I am the next door neighbor of Sherry and Scott Hoffman, and I want to say that they have enhanced hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of enhancements to this property. Before they got it, they were going to be scraped. Had tenants living in there that were, as far as I understand, desirable. A lot of problems with the law, a lot of problems with the police. They've taken over the property, and they, again, as I say, they've enhanced it to the extent that they're beautiful. They've enhanced the property around, the values of the property around, for the earths, the strangers, for anybody living there, for chef. They've done a great job, and I'm looking forward to having them as my neighbors, doing what they're doing. They've done above and beyond, as far as I'm concerned, what the neighborhood needs. Their food, dumping, trash containers, they have plenty of parking, and they're just damn good neighbors.
I'll take that as being in favor.
No, I can't stand them.
David, what was your address again?
6813 Douglas Way. So tell me, Douglas Place is a like, it's like the Holy Trinity. Yeah. Like a Green Mountain Falls. Yeah, Douglas Way. I don't care.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, is Sarah Ernst?
No, Sam and Jane are not in there. I'm from Oklahoma.
There being no further comment, we'll close the public hearing at 6:53. We have a motion to
Discussion?
vote.
Is there a bear-proof container now?
There is.
Okay, thank you.
How have you addressed the noise complaints from the other neighbors?
We have a strict set of guidelines, it's all new, this is the first time that we've ever, and so, I talked with actually David, he's given us some advice, and so we have very strict guidelines as far as the times that we've, required that people maybe not make noise and things like that, so some plans kind of developed to curtail any type of things that
Number 3 was an interesting comment here about property management on this issue. That they've been threatening to neighboring homeowners. Again, you know, the property owners around here say that they're going to be good neighbors. So, you know, I think number 3 is,
Okay.
you know.
I'd remind Mr. Hopper that on the top of your application, it says that the special use permit is subject to annual review, so it would be in his best interest to identify things. So, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A second. All those in favor, any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Unanimous.
It's
6816 Douglas Way. We'll open the public hearing at 6.
Should be 6817, that's a typo, I apologize.
Mary, how many?
On this one, there were only 2 neighbors and one didn't have, there was no agreement clause but no fuel. So it didn't get, you know, got it prepared, and it would have
If I could add something, that if the 2 houses that you sent it out to are actually residents. The other houses that should have been sent out to are vacation rentals. So if we could take that into consideration.
Well, they
Reaching
do,
for-
on the assessor side, they do show, you know, their mailing address.
Right, they do show an owner, but they are,
And I did, there were several that were sent out of state,
right, yeah.
and I did put, you know, that look for me out back, but, we didn't get a lot of response.
I'm the property manager for it, he is the owner, and he has a property, he has a vacation rental, so the 5 contiguous houses that you would be going to, only 2 of them are owned,
All the rest.
and the strangers and the Ernsts who are in favor with their question, but the other 3 are all vacation rentals, so.
And out-of-state owners,
Yeah.
did you, Mary, did you send?
I did, I sent
Okay.
what was on the assessor side.
Also need the audience to give a comment. House rules for all
The very same.
Okay. There being no further comment, we'll close the public hearing at 6:58. We have a motion to recommend approval of the special. I'll second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
I think you're done. You're kind of tired, aren't you?
Moving right along. Open the public hearing at 650-7110 Maple Street.
Yes, I'm supposed to.
So you got one deck? That's what I said.
One on Jack Davis.
Yeah.
I bought him dinner, so.
There were three, and the other two were,
The application.
and one was agreement clause.
And I will add that Betty Stevens lives next door, and she was here over Christmas, and I talked to them and told them what I was doing. Just, you know, just my word on that, but. Nice to-
I sent it to her Florida address, because I didn't have a current.
Your name?
Oh, Don Sateka?
That's spelled B as in Victor, Setecka.
Rules.
Just married him this morning today.
Oh, Mary.
Anyone else from the audience care to?
Is that Maple Street on next to Elm and Maple?
Actually, it's just down here behind the Stone Cottage.
Oh, yeah.
Right behind the swimming pool.
So how many houses have
She said three.
three? Well, I have a house in that corner and I'm, and that's in my own. I have 7145 Maple Street. And then, other complications. Yes, I do.
So here, bedrooms, 2
It's
bedrooms.
3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And I've just, since I acquired it in September, I've had all the electrical put in, I've had it painted. I've made my own baby
So is that by the tennis courts there?
tennis courts. It's the
That beautiful little stone.
West.
Right as you go into Maple Street, it's the first house in the 11.
Oh, there's Sunshine County.
Yeah, well, that's
One of the first frames built here are always there.
Yeah,
historic.
that's a historic
Yeah,
property.
I'm there a lot. If
Nice.
I want to rent it out, even, I like it.
Yeah, you should, I know.
It's perfect, but
I had one returned in.
Yeah, one return. Okay.
I just got to sell it while I keep grandchildren.
Yeah.
I just retired. 4 years as a lawyer, so I don't know how to keep quiet.
Very cool.
Any further comment from? Being no further comment, we'll close the public hearing at 7:03. Do I have a motion to recommend approval of the special use permit?
Motion to approve.
A second.
I'll second. You second, or did you second, or?
No,
Okay.
discussion. I'm going to comment. Even though the application was put in one day too late for us to hear this, By following procedure, we made the Hoppers and the Bingmans wait an additional 2 weeks so that we could follow procedure on that. If we go forward with an approval tonight, we're going to bypass procedure and possibly set a precedent.
May I comment on that?
Please.
The reason why is because of the holidays. And if it had been just a 2-week waiting period for him, I would have put it through. But as it stands right now, it's been 2 months. With the exception of, the long holidays, we have another 10 months to worry about that. So moving forward, I will put it in the next planning commission meeting instead of trying to put it in our past.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And,
It's passed.
it's passed.
So it was
Approved. Well,
within the time period.
we've approved to recommend to the Board of Trustees to grant the special use permit. So in one more week, at the next Board of Trustees meeting, will be another public hearing to where they grant final approval. So we're making a recommendation to the Board of Trustees to approve.
The only reason I asked, because I guess it's been a slight change. It used to be a 45-day posting, so it's changed. Done?
Okay, and we'll open up the public hearing at 7:05. And this will be for 10865 Myrtle Street. And Mary, how many did we send out letters?
2.
And how many did you get back? 2?
There's 651, you said 2?
2 copies.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, it's on the Sheffield and Willie Alexander.
Property owner is Bigman.
I think Brad and
And they're not here.
that's great. Anyone from the audience care to comment?
David Sheffield,
No, it would be Bradman and Bingham's.
and notice was sent to David Sheffield.
Yes.
Because he has vacation, but also.
And the folks across the street from them.
Right.
Well, they got it's a summer home for that. As a respondent, I'm going to comment. I know the Bingmans personally, and I recommended to the planning commission that we approve.
Could we ask them to put some more meat into the house rules, like have contact information, like have some of this detail, because this, I don't think is enough detail, I don't think.
Can I see a copy of that house rule? Wow.
One thing with us, aren't doing a vacation rental by owner. He's a realtor, and so he knows who's going to be coming up or knows someone who does.
We all do. We all do. We won't take rent to somebody that we don't know, that we don't qualify. So it's not a matter of.
It has information, but
Yeah,
again,
it's gonna be a little-
contact information.
Be a little bit more.
Well, I mean, I think most of the time when you're doing a vacation rental, it's on VRBO or Airbnb or something like that.
Well, I have my own website.
Yeah.
They have their own real estate agency also, and I just want to make sure that that people know that we do qualify who comes into our houses. prices are set such. The credit, we take a credit card, we just don't do an income. I mean, I try to meet every person that comes into my house that's the previous guest, so I know them from before and I'm comfortable with them. So I just, it's not a matter of whether they're a realtor. As long as they know how to qualify somebody, as long as they know that.
We can make it, we can stipulate that we upgrade
Yeah.
those. And,
I mean,
They'd be amenable to that.
this looks, this looks kind of, it's like it's the same format and the same information other than the different name and phone number, so maybe they can use that.
Well, there's other things too. I mean, there's things that we take our fire seriously around here. We want to make sure that they use the right guy. We don't want outdoor fire. We don't want charcoal burning
Yeah.
fires.
I think
That was
I
specified.
think that was specified.
The key points on that was
Yeah.
no open fires,
Yeah.
no open barbecue.
Yeah.
The Bingleys do have
Yeah.
trash containers that firsthand experience, they are bear proof. No, I drug it down the hill, but it didn't get it open.
The police department, the fire department, 911, and they have all the call.
And it might be emergency,
Yeah.
if you're seeing the emergency numbers or call them.
They'll open your door at 2 a.m.
Yeah. What's your name on there?
I might make that arrangement.
But to
But we
make
can,
sure.
we can make it a recommendation
Yeah.
or subject to
Contingent.
upon.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, all those rules and regulations I have in my house are put into a plastic portfolio and then in plain sight.
That's important.
Useful where you just people operate after fire.
Mr. Chairman,
He's lucky we're still here.
Yes. Yes, sir.
it appears like we've got some good house rules, some that are not as good. Maybe we need standardized house rules.
I think the ones that the other places used are the standardized ones from town clerks.
Online.
This one for Sunshine Cottage looks pretty good.
Yeah, I see that, Dick?
Yeah.
See if it looks like Mary second.
Well, it talks about wildlife, outdoor limits in town.
It's the same one it's the same one for all the
Yeah.
rentals except for this last one, yeah. It has quite a bit of detail, and again, it has contact information, which I think is important.
So maybe we should have a set.
To me, it looks like a good standard.
Yeah.
And then when people come in and apply for it,
I think so, yeah.
That's the minimum requirement.
they, we hand this to
And the only
them,
thing
say,
is,
house rules, we like, they agree, just commission that.
I like that thought, because the other one doesn't, the big one, the last one, they didn't address the in town at all. Or the septic, we're all on septic systems up here.
I couldn't improve on it. That's why I just use what she said.
Okay.
Is there any further comment?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Comment will close the public hearing at 7:12 p.m. So do we have a motion to recommend to the board contingent upon house rules that meet or accepted tonight?
I'll make that motion.
Do you have a second? Second motion. All those in favor, any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Big Bear Distillery, Mr. Matthews.
I'll make it quick, I know you guys are getting pushed for time.
Have a drink?
That's contingent on approval. Okay, real fast. Blackberry Distillery. Everything that can be done has been done except for this one little issue. And I'll just hit it real fast and I'll come up with some. I've studied the code like for weeks on end, every single word. So if anybody has any, feel free to ask. I'm an expert on that. But I have a couple suggestions and a couple questions. What I need is advice and recommendation based upon 4 different ideas. So first of all, we're good to go. Since we've met last time, label approval, with the state approval, federal approvals, everything. We're done. We're ready to roll. So we have this one little issue, and here's where it lies. The branding of the distillery, which makes it special for the whole world, relies on this ultra concept of doing everything like it was done hundreds of years ago. So the make the grain, know the way it's soaked, doing in-house malting. Less than 10 places even do that in less than 20 places in the world do this. Okay, distillery in the world. That's not an exaggeration. Feel free to do research. It's true. Now we have these stone grinding wheels, and that's unheard of. And my designers and architects and various others work on how that's going to work. The top wheel kind of levitates above it. You can adjust it, and you spin it around a big wooden thing like you did 2,000 years ago, and you grind the grain. So we're going to get grain from local farmers. We're going to dry it in a giant fireplace there. I've got racks being built. We're going to grind the dry grain. We're going to put it into the mash, distill it, etc., make a whiskey that's unlike anything else in the world. The only question is how we're going to grind it. Here's the key. It has to be a sustainable, green, fossil fuel-based grinding energy. Now, as far as I can tell from my research, things that do that is wind, water, and animals. Okay? Wind, unless you want to talk in the middle of my parking lot, which I'll put up, we can even make it to a cell tower, have some cell service around here. But I think a giant windmill probably extracts from this. I'm only like 100 feet from the lake, maybe that'd be attraction. Moving around Colorado, huge problem. So probably I'm going to make a water wheel, move the lake. I can move the creek, I can do some underground stuff if you want, but I really don't think we want to mess with the water. That is simple, sustainable, easy to do. Okay, so I came up with the idea of donkeys. They've been doing this for 2,000 years. They're totally happy with the property. It fits donkeys. Got in, got a note back, and I've included that in your packet. Quick little note saying donkeys aren't food, and we don't really have a way to do any kind of place, etc. Okay, so either, and I was aware of that ahead of time. I knew that it wasn't going to, the donkeys weren't typically allowed. Also, donkeys are the best solution for this problem. But I've got 4 other ways or 3 other ways in case they're not. That's all covered in here, and I'll get off this at a time and let you guys take some time to look at this. But if you don't go with donkeys, next step, number 2, horses. Horses are problem there is the setbacks. Now that's actually mentioned in the lawyer's letter. Normally a variance is done for setbacks. I would have to talk to my neighbors. I have a larger pen than required, but not as much total land, and the setback would be 75 feet. Once again, I would need a variance, although it would be a much more standardized variance. But I could have a draft horse do the same job. That might be the easiest way out. It's up to you guys. Number 3, something that's not in the code. There are lots of animals possible for this job, and donkeys, mules, etc. are not allowed. Horses are allowed. So what is not? Study the code real careful. There's quite a few animals that are not permitted. So on the permitted list, or the not permitted list, if you will, we have such things as alpacas, ox, and buffalo. Now, I don't really expect to have camels or buffalo in a parking lot. That's not in the code, therefore it's allowed. You don't have to have another meeting, right? Just bring camels in. I don't like that idea. I just want for the record to say, I hate the idea of anything big, smelly, loud, and weird like that. Donkeys are not like that. Now, alpacas maybe, because they're sweet, they're small, they can do the job. If that's where you want to go, let me know. Recommendation. And that's any other animal that's not covered in that view, which is in this. Finally, last one, but it is possible. Work dogs all over the world. Dogs are used to do things like drag sleds, move equipment, move barges. Big dogs are work dogs all over the world. In America, the society views dogs as pets, not work animals. Therefore, it might be a little hard to convince people dogs are cool. St. Bernards are better than donkeys for this job, but it is possible. That's it. It has to be an animal power as far as I can tell, unless you want to discuss moving water. If it is an animal, animals allowed and some animals not. The one that's not allowed is actually the best. I know when the code was written, nobody thought, hey, it's going to be a great distillery guy asking. Nobody thought that when they wrote the code, so maybe there's a way around it. All I need to know is what you guys want to do. Because if you say, file the fee of variance for a horse for the setback, I'll do it. If you say, bring some alpacas in, it's like alpacas running around, whatever. If you say, I have to make my kids do it, I'll make them, and they don't want to do that. I just want an answer, because the only piece of the puzzle left, I'm talking about with the granting bags. I've got the bottle approved by the federal government. I've got shelves with holes in them where the product's going to go. The only thing I'm missing is this one little piece. How are we going to run that with?
Are these listed in your preference order? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah,
Donkeys is
probably.
your first.
Probably, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I really think figuring out the donkey is the best answer, but
Why would the code be written not to allow donkeys, but to allow horses or all these other animals? What was the reasoning? Mr. Rattles?
He was around.
I wrote the town's animal ordinance.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with it. So I have, Victor,
yes, sir.
how big is your property? How many?
We're talking property this would be on is about an acre.
Yeah.
So it's less than the horse requirement.
Horse requirement requires 2.5 for you to harbor horses there.
Right?
If you thought of harboring your donkeys outside the town limits and bring them in just for grinding.
Yes, that was one of the things we talked about.
Okay.
First issue, of course, that's a whole different set of problems, including expenses, getting another piece of land with the donkeys. Traveling back and forth with the donkeys is obviously going to be, detrimental to the donkeys, to the staff, et cetera.
To harbor horses or donkeys. 1 acre is not big enough, requires 2.5.
Right,
So
so,
we spent a lot of time coming up with that standard.
so let me ask you a question,
Okay,
because you're glad. Right after that, it talks about the pin size, and it talks about 1,500 square feet, right? That's the next set of that ordinance. So my question is, you have a 2.5 acre total land requirement, but you have a pin size of 1,500 per animal, right? So if my pin is 4 times bigger, but the overall land is smaller, and that's all, you got a copy of it in you got a copy of the ordinance.
parents gonna be like.
So, no, so the ordinance, and you wrote it, so, the ordinance says that you have to have 2.5 acres, right? But then it says, that's 7-161, and it says 10 feet, blah, blah. Now, 7-162 enclosure. And a suitable fence enclosure, a Rowler pen, this is where you're keeping the horse, it's 1,500 square feet, 1,500 square feet per animal. Set enclosure, et cetera, 75 feet from. If the enclosure is big enough, I can make an enclosure or a pen, but my total land is smaller. Does that make sense? 1,500 square feet is not that big, right? So what if I have less total land, but make an enclosure 4 times bigger? Now what? You understand my question?
Oh, it's the next paragraph, it mentions 15.
762 enclosure.
Okay, I'm catching up with it. So the pen you have to have 2.5 acres, and then you have to have a pen on those 2.5 acres, at least 1,500 square feet per animal, as I read it here.
Yes, but a much bigger pen that they're actually living.
That's really, I don't remember writing it that way, but that's where it says. The concern is the welfare of the animals.
Absolutely.
They need enough space to exercise and relax. I don't know where 1,500 square feet came from.
I agree completely, and obviously my same concern is you.
Barbara's left already. Oh,
Oh, I'm here.
1,500 square foot pen for 2 donkeys. Is that big enough?
Nope.
No, that's not what I said. 1,500 is what's in here. My area is much bigger.
Oh, okay.
My area is much bigger than that.
What
I'm
size,
50 across the front, 100 deep.
what size pen?
I'm 4 to 5,000 square feet of a pen.
All right, thank you. That answers my question.
With hills, with grass, with a flat land. I mean, it's nice. And according to donkey experts, it's absolutely perfect for donkeys. Now, once again, they're not allowed, but it's perfect for donkeys. They're desert hill creatures. There's a hill, there's a grassland, it has the right grass with it, has the right. You could design it.
What kind of time?
I was hoping to find out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, every time frame. No, whatever's needed. If it needs to be in a month, I
You've
need
got
to
4 choices for us to consider.
So,
Your desire, which one recommend you pursue? or what?
yes, sir. My question is, what do you recommend? If it is donkeys, but it's hard. If it's horses, it's a little hard, but it's easier. If it's other kind of animals,
It's a
really easy,
little while
crazy.
for us to digest this.
Yes, sir. That's why I bought it and filed for everybody, to give everybody, and I'm totally open to waiting weeks, months, whatever's required. I just can't, the answer can't be when all is said and done, that we're gonna plug in and run electric from fossil fuels to run this.
In any case, all 4 of these require a variance to the Greenland Falls Code. Requires public hearings, time period.
Mhm.
So there's time between now and the first public hearing, if the board decides, the board of trustees decides to set a public hearing on this issue, for us to read these and give the board recommendation.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we do not have to decide.
No, of course not. That's why I brought all this information for you guys to digest. I just am looking for eventually a recommendation from you for what to do. Because I need to have some type of non-fossil fuel based sustainable energy running this thing.
Mr. Chairman, I suggest place this issue on agenda for the next planning commission meeting. In the meantime, our homework, so we consider Victor's input.
That's awesome. That's all I need. I just need to know what to do. Right now, this is what I'm doing.
Not allowed to be on the boat, is that what you're saying?
The horses are, but my place is slightly different. So that needs to be.
It's 2 acres.
Reason why I asked is those, like to talk, you know?
Any other questions? I know it's a lot, and that's why I gave everybody a packet to study or to figure out. Just tell me what you want to do and I'll do it. I'm open for every question. Any
On the
questions?
next meeting then.
Any other questions? Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is Mary.
When I moved back to Massachusetts, I brought my horses back with me. And I was told by the town that I wasn't, town of Hyannis, Massachusetts, that I wasn't allowed to have horses. I hired an attorney, and the attorney found out it was an old blue law going back to the 1700s that said every person is in the family entitled to own a horse. And so that overrode any town ordinance that was made or created. So I just don't know, that may be some old blue laws that just let you may have a donkey.
Keep the meeting moving along to new business, special use permit application 11350. It's Pam Banta.
I'm her brother.
Okay.
She works evenings, and I have
letter from our side to represent her, and answer any question you might have.
Your name, sir?
David Van.
Okay. Alrighty. This is for a,
Vacation.
vacation rental. Any comments?
Just that if you could get the house rules, get that for the next time.
Have that prepared.
Yeah, we could have a copy of that.
Sure, the town clerk will give you a copy.
And,
I'll send it to you.
Mary, if you could put this on the agenda for a public hearing for our next meeting, which would be
The 10th.
10th. Thank you.
How large is that house, sir?
It's 2 bedroom, 2 bath.
Assessors,
Well, pardon?
assessor's site says you have 600 square feet and 0.75 baths.
We've changed that. There was a 700 square foot addition put on, a new septic field put in for 3 bedrooms.
Good. Okay,
And if you walk out Belvedere, you can
beautiful.
see it.
Assessors.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
And 2-car garage parking.
Very good. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks.
I'm sorry, what now?
We'll see you back here on, for a public hearing on, February 10th.
Okay, and I noticed, I'm brand new to all this, so the others were approved, correct, and this is not approved?
There needs to be a public hearing to where the town clerk will send out letters to the neighboring properties within 100 feet
Oh, okay,
for their opportunity to respond in favor of or opposed
and that wasn't done on this one?
correct.
Okay.
So the normal, typically there's 3 visits. Your visit here now tonight to present the application. We post a public hearing notice, send it out to the neighbors.
Oh, okay.
So in
All
2
right.
weeks, there'll be a public, and then 1 week after that, going with an approval to recommend from the planning commission in 2 weeks. And 1 week later at the next board of trustees meeting where they issue approval.
Okay, thank you.
Fence bids. Mr. Gorman. What can you tell us about fence bids?
Well, we have 3 fence bids. We have Aspen, Country Fence, we have Peak Fencing, and we also have Taylor Fencing. These on the construction of the fence that would go around the bows of the Lake Street. And there would be a double drive gate on the east side, and on the west side would be a walking in gate. With the going around the bows there. Would be a wood fence. We have a couple options. There's, like I said, Aspen has one as a wood base fence with the post set in 24 inches of a 4x4 by 8-foot post. And peak fencing is similar to that one. The difference is Taylor fence. They're what they do is steel. They do like steel corner posts. They're a little more expensive, a little more well known than the other ones are. The gentleman that came out, he came out personally and spoke to me and talked to measures. These guys did, but the quality of fence, the rate would be like Taylor and Aspen, then reason why we're doing this is because of the danger we have from folks that walk around there. There's a lot of sharp objects, people can, mess with the valves, it's very difficult, move, but, it takes a pretty strong fella to do that. For anything that may fall down inside, the valves there. The grates that are over the top are really heavy, so you can't really move them. But this would provide a wood fence to go around it. It would be a security fence. You can't get in there, it would be locked. Only myself and someone else.
And just the town would have access.
Yes, just the town would have access. So I think it would be a definite benefit for the town.
Michael, I know they're coming in underneath there. Will this help that situation as well, or not? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, that you mean coming from the pantry?
No, just walking.
Uh,
Is that closed off then?
That's open on the other side, on the pantry side, that's open through. That's what you're talking about.
No, you know where the creek comes in.
That's the pantry side.
Yeah, well,
This
the
goes to the,
inlet,
yeah,
is the inlet to the lake
Yes,
right there?
that's always been open.
So like when you're standing on the thing, like you're on this thing, and you look down, do people have access to get down there?
No.
Okay, so
It's
that's
really,
closed.
it's extremely heavy.
Okay, that's,
It's safe, that part is safe.
that part's safe. Perfect. This is strictly the gate around
You
them,
have to go around and see people from,
whatever that
get in there.
okay.
And Ben from the pantry wanted to paint a mural on the, I guess, it'd be the south side of some sort. Nice. I don't know what to do. I drew a basic diagram of where it's gonna go.
And they're all wood,
Yeah.
they're all wood fences.
There's wood,
Yeah.
the only difference is Taylor would have steel around. You have to decide which one you want to do.
What kind of risk is there if someone hitting the fence?
More than, I don't think it's
Okay,
it's not gonna be sticking out, but it tucks pretty tight right against the.
yeah. I was thinking more in terms of which ones. Maybe a little bit better.
So Ben is taking, Ben Stevens, the owner of the pantry, has looked at where the fence would be and everything.
Oh, exactly. Definitely one that doesn't go on. As far as warranties, you'll see that Aspen offers a 2-year labor warranty. The Taylor, I didn't see a warranty on there, I'm sure they do, but I didn't see one on there. He's offering a 1-year warranty.
So are these things,
It's just natural. We'd have to stay. What is it?
and what do you want in the planning commission?
Well, it's, you need to approve or recommend which one of these you guys would like to the board of trustees.
we don't know what the budget is, so I think the town would need to,
Any one
our
of,
trustees, what's that?
any one of these.
They're all gonna look the same approaches.
Yeah. Taylor would be the steel. You know, if you want to go more aesthetic and nice look, it's wood. You know, if you go steel, it's going to be steel. Might last longer. It's up to
Less
you.
maintenance.
This is steel on the inside, hidden by the pickets.
Excuse me?
The steel posts are inside, and hidden by the pickets.
Yes, except for the corners, you might see a little bit of the corners sticking up a little bit.
I think it's a charter, this commission to determine whether the fence meets town ordinance on fences, period. We're not charged with making aesthetic decisions, that's the board situation. So, if all three of them meet the town ordinance on fences, then we should not pick one.
Well, that's amazing.
I think all three comply. Thank you, Commissioner. Chairman, that's reserved to the town board. The town board can answer criticism.
So,
So that's
not commercial law, business, it's a town. So we like, let's decide,
but is it a commercial district?
it isn't a commercial district, but it now that belongs to the town.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to
So,
a
but this
commercial.
would be what we would use. It's in a commercial industrial district.
Yes,
So it's 6 foot tall. And you're 6 foot tall, right?
Yes.
I know.
Then is it one of your suggestion?
Send the board statement with review that applies with town ordinance and fences. We do not wish to make a recommendation. As to
Recommend that all three would meet.
same thing.
Perfect.
So do I have a motion to approve, accept the recommendation of any of the three present as being suitable for use to the board of trustees for purchase?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. All right, there being no further comment, we're at,
We have two more items that you added.
oh,
I can take them, let's
table
table,
yours.
and we'll put it on the agenda for next meeting. I'll give it to you.
Did you have any comments on minutes?
You caught me off guard. I don't know what you're seeking.
Okay, did you want to make any comments about minutes, the planning commission minutes?
The town ordinance says they are to be posted within 10 days of the meeting. We have not been complying with that.
Yes, we have. The only time that she hasn't is when we don't have a planning commission meeting and we don't get approved. So,
Does, we're in that same old argument. The citizens want to see the minutes in a timely manner, even if they're a draft. You put a disclaimer at the top and you say it's a draft, you say these are unofficial, but you need to post them in a timely manner. The ordinance says no longer than. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, but that's what the ordinance says.
Okay.
That was your question.
Well, let's leave that on the agenda for revisiting on the 10th.
I'm just pointing out the ordinance provides for them being posted within. That's what the ordinance says.
All right.
So I don't know what discussion there is.
Okay. Very good. We'll adjourn at 7:45. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah.
My wife makes me.
Lifetime.
Already know that I'm handing it back to you. There's customizing with
What are you doing here? Why are you allowed to be here?
What the hell am I doing? Just inside out.